last but certainly not least, we have Morgan Ray sharing her lessons learned and experience launching Seaweed Suites.
Thank you. I'm Morgan Ray. I'm the founder of L'Atelier, which is a marine-based design studio. And we believe that the world can continue traveling, but do it in a much better way. I don't know if you're a traveler like me, but there's so much value to going to another culture and another place and being somewhere new. But there's also big problems with that, with waste and all of the plastic that's being used in single use and in the spaces. And through our research, we discovered that seaweed could actually be a solution and it can touch every single part of a room, a, a, a hotel room. And so we started championing this concept of the seaweed suite because we believe that these algae and seaweed solutions need to be visible, desirable, and accessible. And so we have started to put that in front of everybody through this suite and make them accessible to real people and hotels because we wanted to make sure that these solutions just didn't stay in the laboratory, but they actually were put in use in hotels. So next slide, please. So we started at the beginning of a journey, and that's not in the hotel, but it's actually in the airlines. You know, most people fly to go to their hotels, and we started showing in the solutions that existed or prototypes that were out there to US airlines. And we got so close, like to getting these seaweed solutions in flight. So the prototype that you see in the middle there, it was fantastic. We were about to get it up there, but then the price was an enormous amount. And then the straws made it to, you know, almost signing the deal with the airline. They're about to place the order, and we lost. We lost to paper by a few cents. So we started realizing that these solutions, we had like a mismatch. Like they weren't ready for the airlines yet, but what they were ready for was our target guest. So, in the next slide, please. So, you know, we started looking into that, but before that, like many entrepreneurs, we thought that we had to chase after high net worth individuals, go after match funding. We developed a really detailed business plan, and we're pitching and presenting and competing in different events. And we put so much energy and resources into that, and we were wrong. We were completely wrong. And it took this algae accelerator program where we went into it thinking that we were going to get this funding at the end of the 6 months. And what happened was, well, I went on vacation. I went halfway around the world and realized that I had the answer already from the beginning. And we were doing a new wave of a new wave of hotels, a new wave of traveling. So we didn't need to go the traditional route. So next slide, please. So back in 2022, we actually started showing these solutions to our guests. And these people that you see here, they were either a hotel owner, they were a digital nomad, or both. And we had this idea of this try before you buy, try these seaweed solutions before you buy. And the feedback was fantastic. They loved what we showed them. We gave them a little take-home kit. They still use it to this day, but they didn't have a way to buy it, and meaning it wasn't accessible to them. And they also wanted a community around it. So what we did, we realized, you know, we needed to speak to these people and get these solutions in their hand. So next slide, please. So what we did was, instead of going for an investor, we opened up an e-commerce site and we started selling one product, a seaweed t-shirt. And it sounds funny, but it worked. Sales started flowing in right away. There was a demand for it. No one else was selling these shirts. They were a limited edition. And then, so we're like, great, this worked. Then we expanded more products. We landed some new partnerships, having exclusive access, custom colors. We put all the work that we had been working on, from a newsletter to a design council that you could join and be a part of the decisions being made, all online. And then you could also RSVP for the actual launch. And on May 28th, we're launching the first public Seaweed Suite where you can come and try and before you buy all of these algae solutions. And if you like, you can take home anything in the room that we've shown, of course, for a price. So what started off as thinking we needed an investor, we actually really needed customers. And it began with a Seaweed t-shirt, but it has now grown into a Seaweed Suite. So you're welcome to join us at our launch event. You can go to seaweedsuite.com to RSVP. And yeah, we hope to see you in the suite.